Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, I got an interesting one for you. The topic is the real reason the media view Kawhi Leonard and Giannis Antetokounmpo as a threat. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Let me get into this topic here, and I think this is a pretty interesting topic. So I was going to the grocery store, and of course, this topic came to me. So as we know, Giannis Antetokounmpo is quickly becoming one of the most polarizing players in the NBA, right? He's quickly starting to become that. Now, we know he's fresh off of his first championship that he's for his career, right? We remember his unforgettable game 6 game that he had in the NBA Finals, where he scored 50 points, went 17 of 19 from the free throw line, hitting 89.5% of his free throws, I think with 12 plus rebounds and 5 blocks. One of the best performances you're ever going to see in an NBA Finals game. And Giannis Antetokounmpo delivered it, right? He delivered a championship to an organization that had not won a championship in 50 years. 50 freaking years, right? And he went out there and just, completely just obliterated the competition in that game 6 and really, put his name in the record books. Now, Giannis, although he's been getting a lot of praise, he's also been getting a lot of underhand criticism, right? And I think a lot of that has to do with his heritage, right? I think a lot of that has to do with his heritage, given the fact that, number one, he's not born in the United States, and two, the comments that he made after winning his title, right? After he won his title, he made some comments. So for those of you guys who missed what Giannis had to say, I want you guys to take a listen to what Giannis had to say in the press conference after winning his first championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Take a listen.
When you re-signed your contract, your extension, I'm sure it was with this in mind. Well, could you imagine it happening for you the way that it's happened?
No, man. I couldn't live. There was a job that had to be finished. I feel like the bubble did not pay us justice. We give credit to Miami Heat. They played great, but it did not pay us justice. Like, everybody was feeling homesick. We're a family-oriented team. We wanted to see our families, but coming back, I was like, this is my city. They trust me. They believed in me. They believed in us. Even when we were lost, the city still was on our side. And obviously, I wanted to get the job done. But that's my stubborn side. Like, it's easy to go somewhere and go and win a championship with somebody else. It's easy. I could go. I don't want to put anybody in the spot, but I could go to a super team, and just do my part and win a championship. Still won. But this is the hard way to do it, and this is the way I chose to do it, and we did it.
Now, in that soundbite, Giannis is basically saying that, listen, we did it the right way. We did it the right way. It would have been easy for me to just go to another team, join up with some of the best players, and just do my part and win. Right? He said that's the easy thing to do. Basically, anybody can do that. I'm talking about when he says anybody, I think he's referring to these top tier, top 10, top 12 players. Anybody can do that. But doing it this way, this is the right way. This is the hard way, but this is the right way. And I think Giannis basically took a shot at the whole buddy AAU NBA that basically that is turned into, right? I think he was basically taking a shot. There are only two players really, at LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Now, some people have said, no. He's not taking a shot at LeBron or KD. He's actually taking a shot at James Harden. Here's the reason why I disagree with that. The reason I disagree with that is, how can he be taking a shot at James Harden when James Harden has never won a title? You can't take a shot at someone for doing something that wasn't successful. Harden never won a title. So why would he be talking to Harden? I think a lot of people feel like because him and Harden don't get along, well, he has to be talking about Harden. No, he's saying it would have been easy for me to join a team and win a championship. That would have been the easy thing to do, referring to players that have already won titles doing that, because otherwise, why bring it up in the first place? Why is it even a thing? The whole reason of this whole super team thing is because it ended up being successful. If it was unsuccessful, no one would be paying it any attention. So I actually think he was taking a shot at LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest. LeBron James started the whole AAU-ification of the NBA. He basically started it. LeBron was the one that basically said, we're gonna put together a team of players. We're gonna join on one team. We're gonna get on one team, and we're gonna try to win a championship in the middle of our primes. Because some people are gonna say, but wait a minute, Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, yeah, those guys did that at the tail end of their prime. When LeBron went to the Miami Heat, he was in the middle. He was 26 years old, right? I think Dwayne Wade was 28, 29. Chris Bosh was in his 20s. They were in their prime. Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett was at the tail end of their careers. These guys joined up. Then you think of Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors. I think that was just a reactionary move to what LeBron James and KD saw it and said, okay, well, if LeBron can do it, I can do it too. Let's just be honest. That's exactly what it is, because LeBron is the one that really started this thing of stacking teams. Right, he started stacking teams, and that's why. And what ends up happening is that he'll make a stacked team, then go win a title, and then people will say he did it all on his own. It's like, wait, what? Did y'all know how good Kevin Love was before he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Do you all know how? I mean, I think all of us know just how good Kyrie Irving is as a basketball player. So I think he was definitely talking to them, and I think what has happened is this. The LeBron James apologists in the media have basically tried to cover it up. And the way that they try to cover it up is that they call it player empowerment. No. It's not that we're stacking teams. No, it's that we're empowering ourselves. This is player empowerment. We're coming together because we want to take control of our own futures and our own destinies. So therefore, we're going to empower ourselves to basically stack teams. That's all it is. That's all it was. And the media did a very good job at covering for him. Now, to Kevin Durant's chagrin, what ended up happening was when LeBron did it, he got away with it. Right? He got away with it. And they said, oh, no. He had to leave. They covered up. They said it was player empowerment. When KD did it, it was the weakest move ever. That was the beauty of it all. Like, LeBron got the benefit of it and KD didn't. He didn't. Kevin Durant got the short end of the stick. So I think Giannis was referring to players like this, which brings me to Kawhi Leonard. Is one of the reasons why Kawhi is not given enough praise by a lot of media analysts. The moment Kawhi Leonard decided that he was not going to team up with LeBron James, the moment that happened, it was as if Kawhi Leonard was going against the establishment. Signing with the Lakers, playing with LeBron, Kawhi saw it and said, listen, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this. Now, some people say, like Stephen A. Smith, Kawhi Leonard would have signed with the Lakers if they didn't get Paul George, and he would have signed. So why didn't he just sign with them anyway? If he was going to just sign with them. He tried to do every single thing in his power to get to LA, but not play with LeBron. The only people that would have been happy about that are Laker fans and LeBron James fans, because what would have happened was Kawhi Leonard would have joined that team. They would have probably won the title, and he would have gotten no credit. They would have gave it to LeBron like they always do. Kawhi saw that from a mile away. It's like, listen, I don't want to play with you, bro. I want to compete against you. I don't want to play with you. Right? It's one of the reasons why some players got upset with Giannis, because I heard they invited him to some scrimmages together. And Giannis was like, yo, I'm not part of this buddy stuff that you guys are doing. And he basically exposed the NBA for being some NBA players for being in a bunch of cliques, like it's as if we're in high school. Right? It's like, oh, this guy, if he's not with us, he's not part of the cool group. You got the group, the cliques that are cool, and Giannis is viewed as this dude that's outside the clique. Same thing with Kawhi. Once Kawhi Leonard decided he didn't want to play with LeBron, the media started coming after him. It's one of the reasons why the Clippers are criticized so heavily, because they represent a threat to the establishment. They're the anti-establishment team. And then Giannis came out this year and won the title and made that comment. It was the last thing people wanted to hear. That's the reason why you hear people like coming out there like Steven Jackson saying that, now all of a sudden Giannis Antetokounmpo played on a super team. What? So, Chris Middleton, who's a 2-time All-Star. Drew Holiday, I think, is a 2 or 3-time All-Star and has made some NBA all defensive teams. Now this team is now a super team because he won. Wow, I never heard that before they won. Now all of a sudden they became a super team. So listen, I think Giannis and Kawhi represent a threat to the establishment. They're actually the only 2 players I can think of at the top of my head right now. They're probably in the last decade have won a title being the only superstar on that team. They're the only 2 players. Who's the other player you can think of? You're not going to say the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's that stupid. Nobody's that delusional. And I know what's going to happen. People are going to say, well, Kevin Love wasn't that good, but Kyrie was. Kyrie was, right? So you have Giannis, who did it with the Milwaukee Bucks as being the lone superstar. Nice try, but that's not going to work. And Kawhi with the Toronto Raptors. Those are the only 2 teams. Who are the other teams that have won championships in this decade? You have the Golden State Warriors, I think, who won, 3? 2 with Kevin Durant. That was a super team. And then the first one with Clay and Stephen Curry and these guys, that's 1. So you have 3 plus the Cavs, that's 4. Then you have Giannis's title, that's 5. Then you have Kawhi's title, that's 6. Who else? Then you have the Lakers, who won 2 with Kobe. That wasn't a super team. I can't remember the other. I can't remember the the Spurs. The Spurs won the Spurs won a title, I think, in 2014. That was the other team, right? So, and some people say, well, Kawhi Leonard played with Manu Ginobili. Fair enough, but what about the Toronto Raptors? So I think these are the only 2 players that have done it. These are the only 2 players. These guys want to compete. They're like, get out of here with this, man. Y'all dudes is lame with this buddy stuff. Get out of here with it. And that's the reason why. Yeah. But the problem is you can't take it away from Giannis. You can't. So now the narrative, he can't be the face of the league because he's not from. That's the new one. That's the new one, right? Because it's like we got to say anything. People think that he was talking about James Harden. I don't think he was talking about James Harden. James Harden never won a championship. This was the first super team James Harden has ever been on. I think he was talking about players that have done it in the past. Giannis has he said, I could have left this team in the past. He wasn't talking about no James Harden. James Harden just joined the Brooklyn Nets this year. The super team concept has been around for the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Giannis is referring to what happened in the past. He's not talking about James Harden. James Harden doesn't have any rings, so he doesn't need to be talking about him. He is talking about LeBron James and Kevin Durant. These are the only 2 players that have been on super duper teams within the decade. These are the only 2 players. These are the only 2 players he's talking about. You can't talk about, he's talking about Stephen Curry and Clay because they were drafted by the what's the team? By the Golden State Warriors. Dwayne Wade was drafted, but LeBron and Chris Bosh joined that team. That was a super team. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love is a super team. These are 3 legitimate all-star, and Kyrie is a super all-star. Especially, you remember the games in the finals when they both dropped. They scored over 80 points in that game. They both scored 40-plus points. You gonna tell me that wasn't a super team? Like, what are we talking? So those are the players he's referring to. He is not talking about James Harden. And I think Giannis' statements was one of the worst things he could have said because now everybody's in scramble mode. They don't know what to say. They don't. No. He meant Harden. No. He didn't mean LeBron. That's who he meant. That's exactly who he meant. And I think it's just crazy to think about it that LeBron actually wanted. Think about it. He wanted to play with Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard. What? And Charles Barkley and Shaq got into this big. You don't want to compete. What Charles Barkley was talking about, you want to get all the best players on your team. He's not saying that you don't want to, you're trying to build out the proper roster. We all know every team wants a good roster, but you want all the best players. That's what Charles Barkley was talking about. Let's be honest. And I think this is the reason why they view it as a threat. And I think Giannis and Kawhi are the only 2 players that can say that they wanted a championship by themselves, being like the lone superstar, the only one. So that's what I think. Of course, it's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's your business because this is my opinion and this is what I think. So whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.